I made $36,000 selling a domain name, and I'm going to be really careful telling you about it so that I don't violate my NDA. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter at this point anyway. I think the non-disclosure agreement was just so that they didn't have anybody else try to get their idea before they could publish it. You just notice my lips look all weirdly purple because I just ate an acai berry bowl. It's a weird word, isn't it? Acai. Sorry, so distracted. Okay, back to the point. It all started with a text. I was away on vacation and I got a text while we were on vacation. And it's funny because I initially ignored it, which in hindsight looked like I was just a really good negotiator, but I wasn't. Well, not then, I wasn't. The text just simply said, hey, are you interested in selling this domain name? Because they noticed on Google that it was registered to me. I'm also going to tell you a lot about that in a little bit, probably in another video, because you can do this too. Maybe not sell something for $36,000. That feels a little unique, but it happens, obviously. So I ignored it because I thought it was just like a scam text, and then I'm like, oh, what the hell, I'll reply. And I said, no, I don't think I'm interested in selling it, but why? What were you thinking? And they said, I have a client interested in purchasing it for $4,000. And that got my attention. I mean, it would get anybody's attention, right? But I still thought it was a scam. But I decided to play along, and I said, I do have plans for using this website, and this domain name, and I've kind of started using it in little ways here and there, and that really wouldn't compensate me for it, sorry. Because again, I didn't think I was really playing with real money. I thought I was just playing along. Sometimes I do that with scammers, right? Don't we all at different times? And they went up to, I believe it was 12,000. And I was like, what is this? I countered and I said, well, honestly, when I think of over the years, how long I've had it, and the plans that I've put in place in the background for it, and things that I've just had percolating and haven't activated yet, it feels more like 100,000 to me. Came back and said, I don't think my client will go for 100,000. I'm like, huh. But they didn't say, no, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe it's real. So I said, well, who is your client? And I told them, like, how do I know who you are? And, that I'm negotiating and goodwill, like, you need to show me that this is actually a real thing before I continue even having this conversation. And so they sent me some paperwork, and it was from a real company that I wish I could tell you the name. I really wish I could. It was a very well-known online publication, I'll say that. And they really wanted this name. And so we negotiated back and forth a bit, and at the very end, I had an IP attorney check the paperwork for me just to make sure everything was on the up and up. And yeah, we landed at $36,000. But I almost didn't get it. My husband almost ruined it. And yeah, and also I'm going to tell you in a different video how you do this, how you buy domain names, how you sell domain names, and how you can find some really good domain names that can end up being pretty valuable. So watch for that. In my last post, I did do an overlay with a heavily redacted bit of the contract of the purchase and sale, just to kind of give some proof. I mean, I know it's pretty general, but I really can't risk revealing who this was with. But so I'm gonna overlay it again, and I'm gonna double check before I hit publish this time. I don't know what I did. But the reason why I'm so cagey and worried and nervous, careful with it. Oh, a freaking bug flew in my eye. Sorry, I was just outside and a bug actually flew in my eye. This is another reason why I don't like Louisiana sometimes. I mean, I love it, but I hate it. Anyway, you don't need to know that right now. Back to the point of what I was just about to say is how my husband almost messed the whole thing up, which was, blind copy somebody on an email and you're like, hey, I just want them to know about this, and maybe sometimes it's something that they shouldn't know, like when you just signed an NDA to have someone buy your domain name for $36,000. And I wanted to show him because he had been freaking out a little bit because he was like, maybe you should take the 12 and then the 15 and then the 22 and then the 28 and then the 30. I mean, it went back and forth a lot, and yeah, I really fought for every penny of that $36,000, man. I'll have to do one on negotiation too, because I'm pretty good at it. Well, I am. I was copying on it kind of like look at what I did. Look at. And I said in the message to him, don't question your wife. And like I said, he was blind copied on it. So what does he do? I should have known better because he never pays attention to this stuff. He didn't realize he was blind copied. And he replies, all. And he says, who is this? What? No. Throughout the whole negotiation, they were very specific about not revealing who the client was and what it was going to be used for. That was a condition. And here I am, ding dong me, sending it. So anyway, I had to say, oh, that's my husband. I was just letting him know that this money was being wired into the account, so he knew to expect it. So it turned out okay. They didn't cancel the deal or anything like that. So